Hi, good morning, happy Sunday. My name is Colleen O'Connell Perez, and I've been a teacher for 18 years. And I grew up in the city of Elizabeth, New Jersey, where I had two parents that were both teachers in Elizabeth. My mom was a kindergarten teacher from the year 1970 to 2010, and my dad was also an educational media specialist from the year 1970 to 2010. And they both inspired me to be teachers. So I went to St. Bonaventure University in upstate New York, and that is 1 hour south of Buffalo. It snows every day from Halloween to Mother's Day up there. So I received my Bachelor's of Science in Elementary Education. And then I decided to stay for my 5th year, where I received my Master's of Science in Education, and I did my Reading Specialist Certificate. So that was in 2002, 2003. So here you can see that I have my Supervisor Certificate, and I also have my Elementary Certificate, and then as well as my Reading Specialist Certificate. And then I do also have my Principal's Certificate. But when the state was giving those out, they no longer give paper-based certificates. They only give out your number. So in 2014, 2015, I received the Governor Educator Award for my school. This came from the county that year. So education is something that I'm so passionate about. So I'm doing this because I was inspired this past year by my teacher. I did digital leadership at Kean University. I had Dr. Reppolette, the president of Kean University, as my teacher this past year, and he inspired me in so many ways. So what I want to do here is do a professional Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn with a professional YouTube channel. So I'm hoping to do this summer by doing a professional development series for educational leaders. And it's going to include both professional and personal development series. So what I want to start with first is, like I said, Dr. Reppolette inspired me to do this, but there's been so much more that has led up to this, and you'll see my passion for everything once you see all the books that I have and that we're going to be reading. So I'm going to start here. The Leader in Me by Stephen and Sean Covey. So if you don't know, or if you've never read this book, this is a great read. So inspiring. The principal in this book is Muriel Summers, and she, I think, hands down, is one of the best principals you'll read about ever. There's a lot of inspirational stories in this book, and in this book we can see that as educational leaders, we need to look at each one of our students. We need to find the leader within them. You know, each child is different. Each child learns differently, and we need to find what's special about that child and how they are a leader. And educational leaders also need to look at all their teachers and support staff too, and find the leader within each one of their workers in their district or school buildings. So that's professionally. Now, personally, a lot of people ask me, oh, how do you do what you do every day? So that's my, personal development. So if you know me, the pandemic has been hard for everybody in so many different ways, and it affected everybody differently. So it affected my family with my husband being diagnosed with a brain tumor. I'm not going to go into it too much, but in November, the week of Thanksgiving, he had tumor removed the size of a baseball. He is still currently living with a brain tumor, and that's all I'm going to say. But during that time, I continued teaching because I knew I had to stay strong for my husband and my son. And, a lot of people laugh at me because I do Beachbody and I do Prove It, but that's all, to make me a better person. every morning I wake up super early. I have to find my other book. Okay. And that's because this book, Miracle Morning. Do you see what it says? The not so obvious secret guaranteed to transform your life before 8 a.m. So this is one of the books we're going to be looking at too this summer. And Girl Wash Your Face, Rachel Hollis. If you don't know her, read her. They talk about, waking up an hour early, drinking so much water every day, eating healthy, writing gratitude every day. These are the things I do every day. Listen, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes, and we all do. We're all human beings. But these are just things, and that when that happened to him, I could stay strong, because I already had these habits, and I'm going to get into that too. There's this book, Atomic Habits. I already had these habits. 7 Habits, Leader in Me, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. These are already things that I practice in my life every day, and, I do them professionally too. And I set that example, for my students as well. And then there's this other book, The Energy Bus. 10 rules to fuel your life, work, and team with positive energy. Positive energy. We need a lot of that, because a lot of times, you have that Debbie Downer. And, you just have to stay positive no matter what. And, sometimes if your positiveness can rub off on others, and that's what we need to do as professionals. We just need to keep our ground. And, we can just hope for the best for others, that they follow our lead. Other books that have inspired me that we're going to be looking at is The Innovator's Mindset by George Couros. This is great. Talk about paradigm shift. Talk about mindset. This is really going to inspire you. And like I said, mindset, positive, paradigm shifts. Educational leaders, we need to develop these habits in order to make a difference for our staff and our students. So I'm going to share some other books that it's all about being positive and having a positive mindset and making a paradigm shift. These 2 books are by Angela Watson. Awaken, change your mindset to transform your teaching. This is great stuff. And Unshakable, 20 ways to enjoy teaching every day, no matter what. Okay? It's all about the mindset. And you go in there to your classroom or your school every day, and you keep that positive mindset no matter what. I remember teaching virtually the day that my husband had his brain tumor removed. And the teacher said, "Oh, you can't even tell. Got to do the work. You got to do the work. You got to do the work." Also, there's these 2 people are the most inspiring people ever. Ron Clark and Kim Bearden, Move Your Bus. This isn't the only book that he's written, but he has the Ron Clark Academy. I want to go down that slide. I want to go there for professional development. He is one of the most inspirational educators that you'll ever find. And Kim Bearden, she writes about the life lessons my students taught me. These 2 people are just so inspiring. Okay, now for the techie portion. Well, the tech changes that have been going on. Holly Clark, the Microsoft Infused Classroom, and the Google Infused Classroom. These are great. So many ideas. Like I said, we need to make a mindset shift. We have to, in order to continue teaching today. We're no longer teaching in the 19th century. We're teaching in the 21st century. But I believe we really need a balance of everything. All the stuff that we've learned, it's still needed. We still need to teach fine motor to our students, but we also need to teach this to our students so they can be college and career ready in the 21st century. So I'm so excited to get into these too. These two books I haven't really read yet because she's had this out for a while. I don't know if you know her, Stephanie McConnell. She wrote Wind Time. She's a principal in Texas. She won like Principal of the Year. So this is going to be great to look at. And she has the most amazing blog ever. Then there's also Eric Sheninger. I love him. He also has a blog. I can't wait to get into this. Disruptive thinking in our classrooms, preparing learners for their future. So my thing is, during the summer, we should really be looking at this. And then we should be bringing this to our schools. Take these books into your schools. Use these during your PLCs. I mean, we really need to share this with everybody. And then I know I have some more stuff here, technology. So I don't know if you've ever heard of her, Dr. Monica Burns. She was also one of my teachers that came this year. She has amazing tech stuff. Wow. And it's just all different ways to integrate tech, using the Danielson framework. And I'm going to be looking at that too. Danielson Bible. Just like we unpack the standards, we should also be unpacking this. So I actually have a binder for each one of the domains of the Danielson framework, and how I am distinguished in each one of these domains by the artifacts that I have created. So I have actually created paper-based portfolios for each one of the domains, and I do have an online portfolio too for each one of the domains. And not only am I going to be looking at Danielson, but say this is all the good stuff, and we have to look at it. Sometimes that stuff is dry. Listen, you can make it fun. Put your own twist on it. It's fun stuff. And guess what? It makes you a better teacher. Marzano, School Leadership That Works, Effective Supervision. Teachers also need to know about what their principals are rated on. So most principals are rated on Marzano. So the principals need to bring that down to the teachers so the teachers can understand what their principals are being, just like we're being the tool of the Danielson framework. A lot of principals are being evaluated using Marzano. And we need to know how those two work together. And once you know that, good things happen. Okay. There's also, and he's coming out with a new book, Barutu Kafali, and I'm sorry if I pronounce his name wrong, but this guy's amazing. He was a principal in Jersey City. Good stuff. Good stuff. And I can't wait for his new book to come out. And he's a great guy to follow on social media too. So not only are we going to be looking at professional, personal development, I'm going to be sharing some books for kids too. So now it's diversity, okay? So there's this book, I Believe I Can, and that's what I really missed this year, on getting down on the carpet and reading to the kids and the awesome conversations that you can have in the classroom. I really miss that, I do. You can still have it, but it's not the same. I feel like it's so impersonal this year on the computer. There are the best practices using the computer and everything. You use your breakout rooms, but I miss that. I miss having the kids on the carpet. I miss those great conversations that you can have in the classroom. So these are some more books that I want to share. The Day You Begin. I'm going to push through. All Because You Matter.